Welcome back to Drinks and Chill. My name is Gio. This is Matt. And today we are doing something different.
Yeah, we've never done something like this on this channel before.
We're gonna do this.
We're doing a haul.
We're doing a haul.
You may be like, oh, it's a Halloween haul. Nope, not that either. It's a whiskey haul.
Yep.
So I went to Scotland like early this month. Got some whiskey over there. Because you know, you go to Scotland,
Yeah.
you gotta get whiskey. In this video, I'm just gonna show you all the stuff we got. And then show you, because I haven't shown you yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
The point of the trip was to go to Scotland. It wasn't really like a whiskey trip. It was just more like, ooh, we want to see Scotland.
Yeah.
But I mean, we did go to like a few whiskey things. We went to a distillery. Edinburgh has all kinds of like whiskey shops and like experiences you can do. So we did some of those. But the first thing we did was we went to London. We went to London and spent like the first 3 days there. And then after the 3 days, we took the train up to Edinburgh. But while we were in London, we did some driving around and we went out to the Cotswolds and we went to this little village called Bourton-on-the-Water, which is this really nice little picturesque village. It's got like a stream running through it.
Ooh,
and
nice.
those old like kind of yellow gold brick stone buildings that whenever you think of like English countryside, that's
what it is.
That's basically what it is. But there at Bourton-on-the-Water, they had like an outpost, I guess is what you'd call it, of the Cotswolds distillery. I got this little kit of Cotswolds whiskey. So we might try these out in a video, but it's like their standard single malt, the peated cask one, and then the Founder's Choice. I believe they said, oh yeah, they're in Storton. So this is actually English whiskey, which I don't think we've ever tried on the channel.
I don't think we ever tried that, like, period.
But yeah, that was the first thing we got on the trip was this little Cotswolds kit. In actual London, they have the Whiskey Exchange, which is like this huge ass whiskey store.
Kind of like bigger than like, was it Total Wine?
It's not bigger than Total Wine, but it's bigger than the whiskey section of Total Wine.
Oh, okay.
You can get Eagle Rare there for a decent price. They had the like Elijah Craig barrel proof, like a lot of the bourbons that like people really try to find here, they had them there, like just like on the shelf, like okay. So I'll show you what I did get, which we'll try on the channel very soon, is Macmyra Brusk whiskey.
Ooh.
It's Swedish.
What's Brusk?
I have no idea. Maybe that's just how they say it. I'm not sure like what is used for it, like the grain. I don't know if it's a single malt. I would think if it was a single malt, it would say that on here. And then kind of staying with the whole whiskey from other countries thing, I got this little kit here. It's the Perfect Measure European Whiskey Tasting Set. And it's kind of neat looking too, because when you open it up, it has this little thing that sort of tells you about what's in it.
Oh, and then like the notes and everything.
But then it has like these little like sample bottles.
Well, that's an interesting bottle. Not like something you drink out of. They're like really just little bottles.
They're just little bottles. But like, see, that one's from France. And then this one's from Sweden. This is actually that whiskey. And then we've got Denmark, Israel, the Netherlands, and Finland.
Oh, that's an awesome tasting set.
Right? This is a Bruichladdich kit. I'm really into kits.
Yep.
And this box is so much bigger than it needs to be.
Oh, really?
Once I open it, you'll see what's actually in it. But this is the Barley Exploration Collection. So once you open it up, you've got like this little thing here, which is kind of like a neat poster.
That's awesome.
But then on this side, it has like just little blurbs here and there talking about like the barley and all the like the stuff that it's. Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
It's actually a pretty big poster.
It is a big poster. This side, it just says no mere commodity with like a barley sprig. Is that what it is? But in here, they have these 3 little bottles. So that's why I was saying that this box is much bigger than it needs to be.
Well, actually, no, it's a pretty good sized bottle. I mean, it's
yeah,
not...
they're 200 milliliters. So I mean, obviously smaller than a normal bottle, but
but it's bigger than like a sample size bottle.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get more than one drink out of these. They've got the 2008 beer barley, the 2009 organic barley, and the 2010 Isla barley.
Their labels are very nice.
Oh yeah. Like I said, this box probably didn't need to be this big, but then we did get this neat poster. So.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I got at the Whiskey Exchange was this Glenfarclas 21-year miniature. It's not often that you see miniature bottles of 21-year-old Scotch. So I was like, ooh, I need to try that.
Is that going to be the highest or the oldest?
Yeah, it'll be the oldest one that we've tried. This is the first whiskey that we'll have tried on the channel that's actually old enough to drink itself. Ooh. Whenever we do try it, which will probably be in like a year. Just knowing how we do things on this channel. And I think that was all we got in England. I said we spent like 3 days in London, and then we took the train up to Edinburgh. And the night we got to Edinburgh, we had reservations to do the Johnny Walker experience. That was an experience. If you're in Edinburgh and you like whiskey, do the Johnny Walker experience. Even if you don't like Johnny Walker, do the Johnny Walker experience, because that was awesome. Before you go, they had you do this quiz online that they email you to kind of get what your flavor preference is. What they do is they make you a cocktail using your flavor preference. So mine was the green, the Johnny Walker Green, which honestly didn't surprise me at all because I love the Johnny Walker Green label. And then they take you into a little tasting room. If you want a cocktail, you can have a cocktail. Or if you just want to try one of the Johnny Walker whiskeys just neat, you can do that. When we went, it was like the end of summer, beginning of fall. So they had like their summer seasonal one to try, and then they also had their fall seasonal one to try. When I tried them, I really enjoyed the fall one. So I ended up picking up a bottle of it. They have it there where you can fill your own bottle, see bottled by, and that's me.
Oh, wow. And you got the first batch?
Yeah. I think they said that they had just started, or they had just released this like the week before we got there. Yeah, this is the Johnny Walker Autumn Seasonal 2022. So we'll do a video on this. Another thing we got, which I think you will like, the Lagavulin 12-year 2022 special release. I picked this up at the Johnny Walker experience. They had all kinds of whiskeys there, not just Johnny Walker, because Johnny Walker sources whiskey from various distilleries to put into their blends. So basically any whiskey that they've ever sourced, you could buy that whiskey there. They had Glenkinchie, which I actually bought a 200 milliliter bottle of right here, the Glenkinchie 12. And then also there at the Johnny Walker thing, I got this shirt. Johnny Walker Edinburgh. I had to pick up some swag while I was there. So I got this magnet. We got to get magnets of everywhere we go so that we can just cover our fridge with magnets of places we've been. And then I got this little notebook, which I thought would be good because you know how we're always writing down stuff.
Yeah, like notes and stuff.
Yeah, so I thought that this might be good for that. And then the last thing we got there at Johnny Walker was this little glass. I wanted to get a Glencairn, but they didn't sell them there.
Oh, that's weird.
They had this, which is basically
It's like a Glencairn, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
without the stem.
Yeah, without the stem. But it has the Johnny Walker Edinburgh thing on it. So we did that the day we got to Edinburgh. And then the next day, we were just kind of exploring Edinburgh. The Royal Mile, if you've ever been there, is kind of the big tourist drag there. Around the street, you've just got all kinds of shops that sell clothes, restaurants, and there's a bunch of little whiskey shops there. So, as we were walking up and down that street, we had to stop into all the little whiskey shops. So the first whiskey shop we stopped into was one called Cadenhead's Whiskey, and they're actually an independent bottler.
Okay.
So they source whiskey, or they buy barrels from various distilleries, and then they bottle and sell it under their own label. Cadenhead's, this one is a peated blended Scotch whiskey, and they actually had not barrels, but big glass jugs there with the whiskey in it, and the empty bottles under it, so they could just stick the bottle under there and fill it up. But this is the peated one, and then that is the
oak cask.
Yeah, I think he said that was in a new oak cask.
So what made you choose this one as opposed to the other ones?
The guy was kind of describing the different ones to me, and those just kind of stuck out at me. They wouldn't say what distilleries they came from, unfortunately, but I get that. Yeah, we just kind of walked up and down the Royal Mile there and just went into a bunch of little whiskey shops. I cannot remember the names of all of them. I do remember one of them. It was called Whiskey and Wine. And there I picked this up, which is the Sassenach.
Ooh.
So this is actually a celebrity whiskey. Sam Hugan? I don't know how you pronounce his last name. But have you ever seen the show Outlander?
No.
Oh.
I've heard of it.
But he's the main guy in that show.
Oh, okay.
I think Sassenach actually means Outlander, someone who's not from here. Just look at this bottle.
Oh, that's a nice bottle.
Isn't it? This is a beautiful bottle.
They went all out with the bottle.
Yeah. But yeah, we went into 2 or 3 shops there. Mostly I was looking for minis because I was thinking about, I know I'm going to go to other places where I'm going to want to buy large bottles. I don't want to get too much because I got to be able to fit it in my luggage and all that. Yeah. So I bought this little Glen Scotia kit.
Rich and spicy.
But yeah, it's got the Glen Scotia double cask, the Glen Scotia 15-year-old, and then the Glen Scotia Victoriana, which is a cask strength. And then I also picked up this little miniature of the Highland Park 10-year,
Ooh.
which I had never heard of. So this is the Highland Park 10-year Viking Scars. So this will be one that we end up trying. And then just got all these little minis. These are ones that I have heard of, but I've never tried. So I just like to buy these little miniatures to be able to try them. But we've got the Glendronach 12, the Tomatin Cask Strength, and the Old Pulteney 12-year. Kind of between the various little shops that we stopped at, just kind of picked up like 1 or 2 little things each one, not a lot.
And you got a little book?
Yeah, so what we did pick up though is this malt whiskey map, but it's a map of Scotland.
Ooh.
And it shows where all the different distilleries are.
Lowlands, Campbelltown, Speyside.
But yeah, like see here, and like it has this little Speyside part here, and it shows like where all the distilleries are located there.
Ooh.
Over here on Isla, like you can see like Lefroy, Ardbeg, Bunnahabhain. So it's basically a map of Scotland with all the distilleries listed.
Oh, and it has more on the back.
Yeah, it has like all the distilleries listed and their phone numbers.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool, actually. All of the stores there on the Royal Mile sold this bottle, the Whiskey Trail. And it says here Royal Mile Edinburgh. So I don't know if this is something that like all the stores like went in on to source and bottle under the Whiskey Trail name or what, but this is more of like a souvenir bottle. At least for me it is. Than like, ooh, I want to try this whiskey. So we did the Royal Mile, and then that evening we did the Scotch whiskey experience, and that was fun. That one we actually got to try 5 different Scotches. We got to try a blended Scotch, a Speyside, a Highland, a Lowland, and an Isla.
Ooh. So
they let us kind of try a little bit of everything. They had a nice gift shop. I wish they had had more small size bottles. Not necessarily miniatures, just like small size bottles. But I did get this Smokehead kit. This is a sourced Isla, or a sourced whiskey from Isla. So those are the 3 that are in there. It's the Smokehead Isla single malt Scotch, and then the Smokehead High Voltage, which is the cask strength, and then the Smokehead Rum Rebel, which I believe was finished in a rum cask. One of the whiskeys that they let us try on that Scotch whiskey experience was the Glenallachie 8-year, and I actually really liked this one.
Really? For an 8-year too?
Mm-hmm. So I picked up a little bottle of it because I believe you can get this one here. And then I also picked up a bottle of the Glenallachie 12-year because I figured if I liked the 8, I'm probably definitely going to like the 12. So I picked up those 2 also, the Scotch whiskey experience. And then also there at this Scotch whiskey experience, I've got this little mini of the Glendronach 12, which I had also bought later that day, but I totally forgot. So I have 2 of these. So you can have one.
Oh, yay.
And then I got the Bowmore 18-year, a mini. It's not often that you find a 18-year in a miniature.
Yeah.
I did get Glencairns at the Scotch whiskey experience because they actually did have them there. So that's for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Just my first Glencairn ever.
And then another thing they gave us at the Scotch, like actually during the tour, were these little scratch and sniff cards.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like you're supposed to be able to like kind of taste, or not taste, but smell like the different notes that are kind of common in the different regions.
Mm-hmm. Was that like medicine?
Yeah, like medicinal, I guess. Oh, I don't know if it still works, but let's see. Like on Snow and Speyside.
Oh, yeah, it's still there.
Oh, yeah. It's still there. But yeah, that was what we got at the Scotch whiskey experience. And then the next day we were in Edinburgh. We didn't do any Scotch stuff, but we did go see Rosslyn Chapel, which is like a church that's just like south of Edinburgh. And I picked up this little thing of whiskey in their gift shop. So this will probably...
The church has whiskey inside?
Yeah, they sell whiskey in their gift shop.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I just picked this up as a souvenir of that place. So this will probably be one that, again, I don't open. It's just like a souvenir bottle. But the next day we were at the Isle of Skye, which is beautiful, by the way. The scenery, it's gorgeous. But the place we ate at was called the Old Inn, which is actually just down the road, not far from Talisker Distillery. And they had, I don't remember if it was 4 or 5 different Talisker whiskeys on tap.
On tap?
Yeah. I tried the Talisker Port Reed there that night, which was amazing. And then the next day, we went to Talisker Distillery and did the tour there. I mean, that was the only distillery tour we did on the whole trip, but I'm really glad that it was Talisker because I love Talisker and their stuff. And I went ham at their gift shop. Alright, so at their gift shop, I got this one, which is the distillery exclusive bottle.
Exclusive?
Yeah, you can only get it at the distillery. When we did like the tasting at the end of our tour, that was one that they let us taste, and my wife really liked it. which is weird because she's usually not one to be like, ooh, wow, I like this whiskey.
Yeah.
So whenever she was like, oh, I really liked that one, I was like, okay, we're getting it.
Yeah, just like...
Yeah. And then this is the Talisker Port Ruig. They didn't let us try it on the tour, but since I had tried it, I knew I wanted a bottle of it. Our tour guide said that this one was actually not available in the States. He said that he thought you could get it in Canada for whatever reason, but not in the United States, which I thought was strange.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know.
Oh.
Got those 2 bottles there at their gift shop. And then I also picked up this little half bottle, which is kind of like that Lagavulin one. This is the Talisker aged 11 years, special release 2022. Yeah, so this is the Talisker 11 year. I also picked up this little kit, which is the 10 year, which we've obviously tried if you saw our video this past Wednesday. And then it also has the Talisker Storm and the Talisker Sky. So we could totally do a Talisker video with all of these. That was the whiskey that I bought there. I bought a lot of just swag there. I bought a t-shirt there. It's hanging in my closet. I didn't bring it out here, but it's just it's like a dark blue t-shirt that says Talisker on it. I'll wear it in a video at some point. But I got this little glass. It's another glass like that one at Johnny Walker, which was interesting that they didn't have Glencairns either, but it was another little glass like this.
I guess it's the same because you can still have the notes from it the way the base is wider than the top.
Also got a little Christmas ornament.
Aww.
Because it's right around the corner. Get your shopping done. Got a Talisker magnet because, like I was saying before, I like to get magnets. And then I got this thing, which is like a Talisker tasting board. So I thought this was kind of nice.
Wait, does this one fit on there?
It better. I didn't even think to try. Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect fit.
You should have got 3 of them.
I should. But that's that. And then I got this Talisker bar mat.
Ooh, to replace the one you had there.
Well, I was thinking I'd actually keep this one in the house since I have that Rebecca Creek one that I use out here. But yeah, this is the stuff I got at Talisker. So I just kind of I was like, you know what? Who knows when I'm going to be back at Talisker?
Yeah.
I might as well just get all the things.
Yeah, we may just go back next month or something.
Right.
So is it like a long trip going place to place?
Yeah, from Edinburgh to the Isle of Skye was probably total driving time was 5.5 hours. But we stopped at a lot of places, on the way. So it took all day to get there just because we made a lot of stops. We stopped at Loch Ness to see if we could find the monster. The Battle of Culloden battlefield, which is where the English and the Scots had this big, it was one of the biggest battles that they had. And yeah, we just kind of stopped along the way just to get out and take pictures because the whole place is beautiful.
Yeah.
It was dark when we got there. And having to drive on the wrong side of the road and sit on the wrong side of the car on those tiny little roads that are that wide, but they're still two-way roads somehow. It was nerve-wracking, and I was tired, and I just wanted some whiskey. There on the Isle of Skye, it was mostly just sightseeing there. After that, we just came back, and we went to the World Duty Free World of Whiskey store there in Heathrow Airport, which has this huge whiskey selection. But I did pick up some whiskey there. The first one I got was this Ardbeg Smoke Trails, which is a travel exclusive. They were giving out samples of that one there, and I really liked it. It's very smoky, so I don't know if you would like it. If I tried to get ones that were traveler exclusive.
Yeah, because those are the ones that you won't be able to get here.
Yeah. And then because I didn't already have enough Talisker stuff, I picked up this Talisker Surge, which is a travel exclusive. And they had a whole display there for this one, because I think they had said that this one had just come out that week or the day before or something like that. So this was very new. And
so you got pretty lucky when you went there.
Yeah. Right now it's a traveler exclusive. I don't know if at some point it'll be released outside of duty-free stores. And then the last thing I got at the duty-free was the Tamnavulin, which is a Speyside, finished in Tempranillo wine casks.
Ooh.
Which is a Spanish wine, but that's the bottle. I know you're not a smoky whiskey fan, and that one's not smoky. So that's for you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, really. Dang. I had to get you something over there.
Well, you didn't have to.
Well, yeah. The little Glendronach was just because I accidentally got a second one.
But that would have been enough.
Well, I wanted to get you an actual bottle or something. I hope you like that one. I tried to get you one that I knew wasn't going to be smoky, so I read the tasting notes and all that. I'm I think he'll like this one.
Watch is the most smokiest of all.
Right. Yeah, so that was all of it.
Crazy.
Yeah. it was weird because like I bought it like little by little, so it didn't feel like I was buying much. But then when we were like at our last spot and we were like reorganizing our luggage, I was like, oh my God.
Well, it's not that much because I saw some of the tags and some were like in like 30 range, so I can see why it didn't feel that much when you're buying them.
Because most of them weren't that expensive. Like this one and this one actually were probably the two most expensive ones. This mini was like 17, 18 pounds, but I mean, it's a 21-year-old Scotch.
So this is probably your most expensive one.
Yeah, if it was a full size, yeah, that'd probably be the most expensive.
Looking at these here, if there's one that you want us to try sooner than later,
yeah, let us know in the comments. We're probably going to try this Lagavulin 12 pretty soon, like here in the next week or two. Over the course of the next few weeks, months, we'll try most, if not all of it. So
more months, as in like 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah. Well, because like we have all this, but there's also other stuff that we have, not just that was in this haul that we want to try. So, you know, it might be a while for some of this stuff, but
like let us know, and then we'll, I guess, push it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know whenever we post a video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.